Have you ever felt like your life doesn't make sense? That somehow everything you've been through is pushing you towards something greater? Something you can sense deep inside but can't quite name yet? It's a feeling, almost like a quiet whisper in your soul, constantly reminding you that you are not ordinary. While others seem content just drifting through life, something within you refuses to settle. You've been through storms that would have broken most people, yet you're still here, standing firm, even stronger than before. It's as if each setback, each heartbreak, each disappointment was preparing you for a journey far greater than you ever imagined. You know you're different. You've always felt it. When people around you chased temporary things, your heart longed for meaning, purpose, and something lasting. You didn't understand why you always felt set apart, or why certain doors closed when you were sure they would open. But today, right now, something inside you is waking up, responding, resonating with the words you're hearing, as if these words were written specifically for you. The truth is, you're chosen. But being chosen is not about fame or popularity. It's deeper, far more powerful. It's about being selected for a special assignment, a unique purpose that demands more from you than the average person. Every struggle you've faced, every tear you've cried, every loss you've endured wasn't random. It was preparation. And right now, as you're listening to these words, something within you knows that this is your moment of awakening. You're realizing why you never truly fit in. You're realizing why some relationships suddenly ended, or why certain friendships drifted away. Those weren't rejections. They were redirections, guiding you away from distraction and toward the path you were always meant to follow. You've probably spent many nights questioning your purpose, wondering if your life even matters, or if the pain you felt was all in vain. But the reality is, everything about your life matters, far more deeply than you realize. You weren't just born, you were positioned to carry something extraordinary within you, something powerful enough to change lives, to heal wounds, to break generational cycles. And this explains why the battle for your attention, your mind, and your heart has been so intense. The enemy doesn't target the ordinary. He targets the extraordinary, those whose destinies threaten his plans. That's why, even at your weakest moments, there was always strength hidden somewhere inside you, pushing you forward, refusing to let you quit. You felt alone, misunderstood, or even invisible. Yet in every quiet moment, deep down, you've always sensed you were meant for more. Being chosen isn't something you choose. It chooses you. It follows you from childhood. It shapes your decisions, your dreams, your fears. It's why even when you tried to blend in, you stood out. Even when you tried to silence your calling, your heart refused to settle. This moment right now isn't coincidence. It's confirmation. Confirmation that what you've always felt isn't a mistake. You are special, you are necessary, you are marked for something greater than yourself. But this journey, your journey, demands a deeper understanding, a realization of your power, your potential, and the responsibility you carry. It's crucial that you learn how to protect what's sacred inside you, because what you carry isn't just valuable, it's priceless. Now, more than ever, you must understand the significance of silence, because your words hold power far beyond ordinary conversation. You see, silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a weapon. It's a strategy. While the world values noise, shouting accomplishments from rooftops, flaunting successes prematurely, the truly powerful understand the art of keeping silent. This isn't about fear or hiding. It's about understanding that real power thrives in secrecy. When you openly speak about your future plans or reveal your innermost thoughts prematurely, you unintentionally invite interference. People around you, even those who seem supportive, can unknowingly or intentionally sabotage what you're building. There's a reason why history's most impactful people moved in silence. They understood that revealing their moves too soon weakened their purpose. Silence is not emptiness. It's a source of incredible strength, a shield guarding you against negativity, jealousy, and sabotage. Many underestimate the power of mystery, the power of withholding information that others desperately seek. By staying quiet, you keep control. When others don't know your next move, they can't hinder it. Silence preserves your momentum and protects your vision. But this isn't easy, especially in a world where we're trained to broadcast every move, every thought, every achievement. The urge to share is human. But for you, the chosen, discretion becomes critical. Think of your silence as soil, dark, rich, and fertile, where your greatest dreams quietly take root, protected from storms of doubt and negativity. When you prematurely expose your goals, you expose them to doubts, fears, and criticism that your spirit isn't yet strong enough to withstand. Silence prevents that interference, allowing you to strengthen your purpose internally, to develop an inner strength that external noise cannot shake. It also helps you avoid unnecessary battles. Not everyone is equipped to handle your greatness. Some people will react negatively, feeling threatened by the brightness of your future. When you move silently, you become unpredictable and unstoppable. People around you may wonder, may speculate, even criticize, but they can't distract what they can't understand. Realize that every word you keep to yourself is energy saved, redirected inward, fueling your momentum. Many of the setbacks you've faced in life happened because you spoke too soon. You gave away your secrets, your intentions, your victories before they fully matured. This time, choose differently. This time, keep it quiet. Understand the incredible power in letting people see your results rather than your plans. Let your victories announce themselves instead of trying to convince others of what you can accomplish. Your silence will build an aura of strength, wisdom, and mystery around you that others simply can't penetrate. And here's the deeper truth. The enemy doesn't attack randomly. He needs clues, insights, and details about your life to effectively sabotage your purpose. The more silent you are, the less information he has to work with. Your silence weakens his ability to disrupt your calling, leaving him powerless and confused. By moving quietly, you maintain control over your journey, your destiny, your story. You are no longer at the mercy of external opinion. Your voice is no longer drowned out by doubt. Now, you walk with quiet assurance, knowing your purpose is protected and your path is secure. Silence is your greatest tool as someone who is chosen. Keep your dreams close, nurture them privately, and watch as your life begins to flourish in ways you've never experienced before. Your dreams aren't just ordinary desires or random ideas. They are sacred visions, uniquely tailored for you, deeply embedded within your spirit by something much greater than yourself. You might think these visions are common, that anyone can dream, but the reality is your vision carries power, purpose, and promise, beyond what most people can even begin to grasp. That's precisely why you must fiercely guard it. When you reveal your vision prematurely, you don't just share your dream, you expose its fragility. It becomes vulnerable to criticism, jealousy, misunderstandings, and even well-meaning doubts from those around you. Your vision was given to you alone, not to your friends, not to your family, not to your social circle, only to you. It is specifically designed to align with your purpose, your struggles, your strengths, and your destiny. The moment you share it too openly, especially when it's still young, still forming, still delicate, you open doors for confusion and chaos that can slow or even completely sabotage its development. Think of your dream as a precious seed. A seed doesn't grow openly on the surface. It thrives hidden beneath the soil, safe in the darkness, nurtured quietly. If exposed too early, harsh conditions, strong winds, scorching sun, heavy storms, can easily destroy it. Similarly, when your vision is exposed prematurely, voices from the outside world become like harsh weather, bringing unnecessary pressures, doubts, and negativity. People might mean well, but often their own fears and insecurities come through when you share your aspirations. They'll advise caution when boldness is required. They'll suggest safer paths because your bravery challenges their comfort zones. The most dangerous thing about sharing your vision too early is not just external criticism, but how it affects you internally. When you hear negative feedback, doubts begin to creep into your own mind, subtly sabotaging your confidence, causing you to second-guess the very calling you felt so strongly just moments before. Suddenly, your once clear vision becomes clouded by external opinions, and you find yourself paralyzed, confused, and hesitating on a path that was originally meant to be walked boldly. Consider the greatest minds in history, the pioneers, inventors, leaders who shifted humanity. Many faced ridicule, doubt, even hostility when they first dared to dream differently. They succeeded precisely because they kept their visions close to their chest until the time was right. They knew that premature exposure could have killed their dreams before they had the chance to mature. Your vision isn't meant for everyone. It's specifically tailored to resonate with certain people at certain times. By prematurely sharing it, you run the risk of having others distort your idea, misrepresent your intentions, or even mimic your concepts, watering down your originality and undermining your progress. Your vision needs space to breathe privately, quietly, away from prying eyes and judgmental ears. Let it mature in silence. Let it grow strong roots, develop clarity, gain strength. By the time others see your dream manifested, it will already have been fortified against negativity, criticism, and sabotage. Many people make the mistake of seeking validation too soon, sharing their dreams to gauge the reaction of friends, family, and social media. But validation is fleeting, shallow, and unreliable. Your vision doesn't require applause or approval. It requires commitment and protection. You don't need validation from people who aren't qualified to understand your journey. You don't need permission from those who haven't been where you're going. The journey of a chosen person is often misunderstood precisely because it's ahead of its time. Remember, your vision isn't ordinary. It's prophetic, futuristic, powerful. Most people around you might never fully grasp it until it's already successful. Your task isn't to convince them beforehand, but to bring your vision to life in such undeniable clarity that by the time they understand, you're already unstoppable. So remain patient, remain protective, and let your dream thrive safely in your silence, away from premature judgment. Allow your vision to become an undeniable reality that speaks louder than your explanations ever could. Similarly, your victories, especially your early ones, carry immense power, yet they are most vulnerable in their initial stages. When you experience a breakthrough, whether it's a new job, a new opportunity, a financial blessing, or even the first signs of success in your personal life, excitement naturally pushes you to announce it to the world. But here lies the danger. Those initial victories aren't yet secure. They're still fragile, still delicate. They're like fresh fruit, beautiful and appealing but vulnerable to spoiling quickly, if not protected carefully. Early victories must be carefully guarded, because not everyone celebrating your success truly means it. Some may cheer loudly in front of you, but silently hope you fail. Their jealousy, their insecurity, their doubts can subtly poison your joy, planting seeds of fear or anxiety in your heart. Others might appear supportive, offering well-intentioned but misguided advice that unintentionally distracts you from your intended path. Every victory you experience attracts attention, both positive and negative, and with that attention comes influence. Suddenly, opinions become louder, expectations rise higher, pressures intensify. If your victory isn't yet strong enough, These external forces can overwhelm it, disrupt its growth, or prematurely derail the very progress you fought so hard to achieve. When you announce your wins prematurely, you unknowingly invite others into your personal, private battlefield. You give them power to judge, to analyze, to influence your thoughts and actions during critical moments of growth. Early victories need secrecy, not because you fear criticism, but because victories, just like visions, need space and safety to grow strong enough to withstand the weight of public attention. Realize that your success doesn't need validation or recognition from anyone. Validation from the outside world can never truly sustain your internal motivation. It's fleeting, unstable, easily swayed. Instead, your victories must be internally validated, privately celebrated, deeply honored within yourself. True power doesn't rely on external praise. True power doesn't seek recognition or attention. Real champions quietly continue building, continue strengthening their victories, continue refining their path until their success becomes undeniable. Often, the world only learns about true success after it has matured, fully grown, unshakable. The most powerful leaders, athletes, innovators, and visionaries achieved greatness by privately nurturing their early wins, quietly strengthening their victories away from public judgment. They understood that premature announcements invited unnecessary interference, weakening their momentum, giving competitors and critics the chance to undermine their efforts before success was fully established. You must adopt this same strategy. Celebrate your early victories privately, intimately, passionately, but silently. Let your success take root firmly before exposure. Let the strength of your progress quietly build beneath the surface. By the time your victory finally becomes visible, it will be impossible to deny or destroy. It will have grown too strong, too resilient, too powerful for negativity or interference to shake. Protecting your early victories isn't a sign of insecurity or fear. It's a sign of wisdom, discernment, and strength. It shows you understand that true greatness doesn't demand immediate applause. It thrives in silence, growing stronger each day, protected from external judgment and interference. Keep your victories quietly sacred until they are so powerful that when revealed, their strength is already unstoppable, undeniable, and invincible. Your financial life isn't just about money. It's about destiny, purpose, and the deep responsibility that comes with being chosen. The way you handle your finances goes beyond numbers, beyond wealth, beyond possessions. It's a reflection of who you are, what you value, and the divine purpose attached to your existence. In a world obsessed with appearances, flaunting wealth and measuring success by material standards, the temptation to showcase your financial status can be overwhelming. Society pushes you to share your success, your lifestyle, and even your struggles openly, as if validation or worth depends on public recognition. But here's a critical truth you must understand. When you're chosen, your financial journey must be protected fiercely, held privately, guarded closely, because not everyone witnessing your growth desires your continued success. Wealth, when openly flaunted, attracts more than admiration. It also attracts envy, jealousy, negativity, and unnecessary competition. Your finances become vulnerable when others know too much about your income, your resources, your plans, or your financial decisions. Suddenly, people who once treated you genuinely start shifting. Relationships become complicated, interactions become transactional, and trust becomes strained. Those closest to you may change, some subtly and some overtly, as they wrestle with their own insecurities, bitterness, or hidden resentment. Revealing financial details prematurely creates unnecessary expectations. Suddenly, your success comes with silent obligations, unspoken pressures, and hidden burdens. People begin expecting you to carry them, to rescue them, to support their ambitions simply because you've achieved some measure of financial stability. This weight distracts you, pulling you away from your true purpose. Your resources are not merely for personal comfort. They're meant to fuel your assignment, your vision, your destiny. Financial blessings given to chosen individuals aren't ordinary. They're strategic, intended to enable you to fulfill the special purpose placed on your life. Protecting your financial details from public exposure preserves the sanctity of your assignment, preventing distractions, confusion, and unnecessary entanglements. Remember, the loudest wealth is often the most fragile, easily disrupted, quickly lost. Real wealth isn't found in flashy displays, luxurious lifestyles, or public recognition. True wealth moves quietly, purposefully, strategically, never needing validation or applause. It's anchored in wisdom, managed carefully, protected fiercely. Wealth that requires validation is insecure and unstable. Genuine prosperity carries itself with quiet confidence, never needing to prove itself, always protected from unnecessary attention. Keeping your financial journey private isn't secrecy, it's wisdom. It protects you from manipulation, exploitation, and unwanted interference. It allows your decisions to remain pure, untainted by external pressures or opinions. When your finances are guarded, your choices become strategic, guided by clear purpose rather than influenced by people-pleasing or external validation. Being quiet about your financial situation also prevents spiritual attacks against your blessings. The moment you openly reveal financial success, you unintentionally invite unseen forces to target your abundance, disrupt your peace, and hinder your momentum. Spiritual battles intensify when your blessings become public. The enemy targets what he knows holds great value in your life. Therefore, your silence becomes protection, preventing interference and ensuring your resources remain secure and purposeful. Guard your financial blessings until they're fully established and unshakable. Let your lifestyle reflect humility, discipline, and grace, rather than extravagance, boasting, or reckless spending. Humility isn't about denying wealth. It's about understanding its deeper purpose. It's recognizing that abundance isn't for boasting, but for empowering your vision, fueling your assignment, and transforming lives around you. Even if your financial situation is currently challenging or uncertain, guard your struggles with equal diligence. Sharing your financial battles openly often attracts unwanted pity, judgment, or interference from people who misunderstand your journey. Many won't offer genuine help. Instead, they'll analyze, criticize, or doubt your capabilities. Your financial struggles, just like your victories, require protection, careful handling, quiet solutions. The chosen ones learn to lean into faith, diligence, and strategic silence, rather than broadcasting difficulties publicly. Realize your financial life is sacred. It's deeply intertwined with your destiny, your purpose, your divine assignment. Protecting it demonstrates your wisdom, maturity, and strategic mindset. It reveals your commitment to stewarding your resources carefully, powerfully, and purposefully. Your finances, when guarded, quietly strengthen your mission, silently empowering you to fulfill the extraordinary calling placed upon your life. Just as your finances must be guarded closely, your spiritual encounters carry an even greater sacredness. When you're chosen, your spiritual experiences aren't ordinary. They're powerful revelations, divine moments, encounters uniquely tailored for you. These encounters often happen quietly, unexpectedly, privately, through dreams, visions, moments of clarity, or deep, quiet reflection. They're intimate conversations between your spirit and a higher power, guiding your decisions, shaping your path, refining your character. Yet, the temptation to share these divine encounters is strong, especially in an age of instant sharing, where everything significant immediately becomes public. But when it comes to your spiritual life, openness can become dangerous. Divine moments carry incredible power, clarity, and direction. However, when prematurely shared, they become diluted, misunderstood, even distorted. The sacred nature of your spiritual encounters requires silence, careful discernment, and cautious protection. These powerful moments aren't entertainment, they're transformative. They carry weight far beyond casual conversation, beyond ordinary understanding. Many times, others simply can't comprehend the depth or significance of what you've experienced spiritually. Sharing these intimate moments too early invites confusion, skepticism, mockery, or distortion from people who aren't spiritually aligned or capable of fully understanding your journey. More importantly, your spiritual revelations often come wrapped in mystery and subtlety, demanding private contemplation and personal interpretation. Revealing them prematurely, before fully grasping their meaning or implication, invites misinterpretation, even spiritual interference. Powerful encounters can lose their clarity or intensity when exposed too quickly, creating doubt within your own mind about their authenticity or purpose. The truth is, not everyone witnessing your spiritual journey truly desires your growth. Jealousy, skepticism, misunderstanding, or even hidden hostility can silently sabotage your revelations, weakening their impact, disturbing your peace, or creating spiritual confusion within you. Even those close to you, family, friends, mentors, can unintentionally project their fears or biases onto your experiences, influencing your interpretation or causing you to doubt what you initially understood so clearly. The sacred nature of spiritual experiences demands solitude, contemplation, and silent nurturing. Throughout history, those truly connected spiritually, prophets, visionaries, spiritual leaders, often retreated into silence after profound encounters. They didn't immediately announce their revelations. Instead, they withdrew quietly, processing carefully, allowing their spirits to internalize divine truths before sharing publicly. Many profound revelations were never publicly shared at all, remaining sacred, intimate conversations between individuals and their creator. Keeping these spiritual experiences silent isn't suppression, it's stewardship. It's respecting the divine nature of your revelation, understanding its value, protecting its purity. Silence allows your spiritual insights to strengthen, clarify, and mature without interference. Only when truly led, when timing is divinely orchestrated, should you consider sharing openly, and even then, only with great discernment. Your silence isn't isolation, it's divine preparation. It's protection against spiritual attack, confusion, distortion. Your silence strengthens your revelations internally, clarifies their significance, solidifies their power. Protecting these sacred encounters ensures their purity remains uncompromised, their purpose fully realized. Your spiritual journey is not for validation, admiration, or entertainment. It's deeply personal, divinely intimate. Silence keeps its authenticity intact, preventing dilution or corruption by external voices or judgment. Your spiritual experiences, when privately nurtured, become unshakable foundations, powerful guides on your extraordinary journey. Silence becomes your sacred sanctuary, quietly empowering your spirit, protecting your purpose, guiding your destiny with clarity, strength, and undeniable spiritual authority. The pain you carry, the wounds you've quietly endured, aren't just ordinary struggles. They're deeply sacred, profoundly transformative, uniquely tailored to strengthen you for something far beyond your present understanding. In a world that encourages constant openness, instant sharing, and public vulnerability, there's immense pressure to reveal your deepest hurts prematurely, to turn your private battles into public conversations. But what the world calls transparency often becomes spiritual recklessness, because not every pain you carry is meant to be seen or heard by everyone around you. Your suffering, especially when you're chosen, carries power far greater than simple emotional release. Pain is sacred. It's a hidden language between you and something greater, a refining fire uniquely designed to shape your character, deepen your empathy, and empower your purpose. Yet, the moment you prematurely expose your wounds, you risk losing control over the healing process. External voices, opinions, judgments, even well-intentioned advice often distract from the deep, internal healing you truly require. Pain exposed too early often invites judgment, misunderstanding, or misinterpretation from others, which can unintentionally deepen your hurt or stall your healing process altogether. Many will attempt to compare your struggles to theirs, minimizing your experience or advising you from positions of ignorance. Others might appear supportive initially, but later weaponize your vulnerability against you, exploiting your openness in moments of weakness or conflict. Revealing your wounds too soon also disrupts your internal spiritual journey, interrupting the necessary process of private reflection and healing. Pain demands internal conversation, deep spiritual contemplation, and intimate personal restoration. Public exposure prematurely distracts you from this sacred internal work, preventing the true depth of healing required for your journey ahead. Think of pain as spiritual surgery. A skilled surgeon doesn't perform delicate operations publicly. Instead, healing happens privately, quietly, without distraction. Likewise, your emotional and spiritual wounds require quiet solitude, allowing your spirit space and safety to truly heal. Your struggles need a protective silence, not because silence denies your hurt, but because it respects it. The deepest wounds require solitude for true recovery. Only in quiet reflection can you clearly understand the lessons hidden within your pain. Silence allows you to feel fully, grieve genuinely, heal deeply, without interruption or judgment. When wounds are openly displayed prematurely, people focus on the spectacle of your pain rather than the sacred purpose behind it. Your suffering becomes public entertainment or gossip instead of private transformation. Pain, when privately endured, quietly becomes power, fuel for resilience, strength for endurance, wisdom for future battles. The strongest warriors in history rarely showcase their scars openly. Instead, they silently carried pain, allowing their wounds to strengthen their resolve quietly, profoundly. They knew healing was deeply personal, profoundly sacred. Their scars spoke louder than words, but only after healing was fully complete, when those wounds had become undeniable testimonies of strength, resilience, and victory. Remember, suffering in silence doesn't mean suffering alone. It means wisely selecting who hears your pain, who witnesses your vulnerability. True support doesn't require public exposure. It thrives in careful, intentional intimacy. Healing privately empowers your spirit, fortifies your resilience, and transforms your pain into undeniable purpose. Only once healed, once fully restored, should your pain become public, not as emotional release but as powerful testimony, undeniable evidence of strength, resilience, and transformation. Just as protecting your pain is crucial, guarding your circle, those closest to you, becomes absolutely essential when you're chosen. Your inner circle isn't just social, it's profoundly spiritual. People you allow close influence your thoughts, emotions, decisions, and ultimately your destiny. Unfortunately, proximity often disguises hidden agendas, silent envy, unspoken jealousy. Not everyone smiling in your presence genuinely celebrates your success or genuinely desires your growth. Some silently study your weaknesses, quietly planning how to exploit vulnerabilities, subtly manipulating emotions, quietly sabotaging your progress. Toxic relationships often masquerade as supportive friendships. People pretend closeness, loyalty, care, but silently undermine your confidence, quietly erode your strength, secretly poison your spirit. These individuals often disguise their envy as concern, their sabotage as advice, their manipulation as friendship. Recognizing this silent warfare becomes crucial because toxic people rarely reveal intentions openly. Instead, they quietly drain your energy, subtly planting doubts, silently weakening your confidence. When you're chosen, your intuition senses toxicity early, but many ignore subtle warnings, tolerating unhealthy relationships simply because ending them feels uncomfortable, harsh, or lonely. Understand clearly, loneliness, especially when chosen, isn't punishment. It's often divine protection. Isolation becomes necessary preparation, stripping toxic ties, refining spiritual discernment, empowering internal strength. During quiet seasons alone, clarity sharpens, wisdom deepens, strength increases. Silence becomes powerful, protective solitude where you clearly see true intentions of people around you. Your circle directly impacts your ceiling, influencing how high or far you reach spiritually, emotionally, professionally. Close relationships must challenge you spiritually, support your growth genuinely, celebrate your victories sincerely, not secretly envy your success or silently resent your elevation. Carefully examine friendships. Do they empower or drain you spiritually? Do conversations strengthen or weaken your resolve? Does closeness deepen spiritual clarity or quietly cloud your vision? Those truly called understand their circle profoundly influences their destiny. They guard relationships fiercely, discerning clearly between genuine covenant relationships, deep spiritual partnerships, and casual convenience friendships, relationships existing merely because of proximity or familiarity. Protecting your circle often demands difficult decisions, quiet boundaries, necessary endings. Many will misunderstand decisions, criticizing your newfound silence, labeling you distant, cold, arrogant. Yet these accusations are merely reflections of their own insecurities, their inability to manipulate or control your newfound boundaries. Remember, true friendships never require constant explanation, continual justification, repeated proof of loyalty. Authentic relationships intuitively understand boundaries, respecting spiritual needs, silently supporting decisions, quietly celebrating growth. Those genuinely aligned spiritually never demand continual access or constant reassurance. Your true circle proves loyalty silently, consistently, quietly supporting your journey, even without understanding every decision, every choice, every boundary. Chosen individuals surround themselves with spiritually aligned relationships. People silently praying during quiet seasons, intuitively checking during silence, authentically supporting without public recognition. These relationships provide spiritual strength, emotional protection, genuine empowerment, not mere emotional comfort or superficial companionship. Carefully guard your circle. Intentionally choose relationships aligned spiritually, emotionally, purposefully. Protect friendships fiercely, clearly discerning hidden intentions behind smiles, subtle manipulations behind compliments, silent envy behind applause. Allow loneliness to refine discernment, empower intuition, clarify spiritual vision. Ultimately, your circle profoundly impacts your destiny. Ensure those close genuinely desire your growth, authentically support your purpose, silently strengthen your journey. One of the most tempting things to do when you finally sense your life shifting into something greater, something exciting, something powerful, is to announce your next move prematurely. You're eager, filled with enthusiasm, convinced you've finally found clarity, so naturally, your instinct is to tell everyone around you about your plans, your breakthroughs, your upcoming decisions. But here's the harsh reality. Prematurely announcing your next step isn't just risky, it's spiritually dangerous. It opens doors for interference, sabotage, unnecessary doubts, and hidden opposition. When you speak openly about your future steps too soon, you unknowingly invite resistance, criticism, envy, and distractions into your sacred process. Not everyone listening genuinely celebrates your vision or supports your dreams. Some quietly hope your plans fail. Others secretly fear your success. Sensing your elevation might highlight their stagnation. Revealing your next move prematurely allows silent critics, hidden enemies, and spiritual opposition an advantage. They gain insight into your intentions, giving them opportunities to disrupt or delay your progress. Announcing your plans prematurely also weakens your internal momentum, shifting your motivation from purpose-driven action into seeking external validation. Suddenly, your decisions depend on how others perceive your vision, rather than the clarity you initially felt internally. Opinions from others become louder than your inner voice, subtly influencing decisions, quietly introducing doubt, gently derailing momentum. The chosen must learn a crucial lesson. Real power moves silently, discreetly, privately. Think deeply about history's greatest achievements, breakthroughs, inventions, movements. Powerful visionaries rarely announced their plans prematurely. Instead, they quietly built momentum privately, silently refined their ideas, secretly strengthened their strategies, quietly executed plans away from prying eyes or distracting voices. Only after their ideas matured, fully formed and powerfully undeniable, did their actions become publicly visible. Moving silently isn't secrecy, it's spiritual strategy. Quiet decisions privately empower you, strengthening your resolve, clarifying your path without external interference or unnecessary distraction. Silence preserves your energy, maintains your focus, protects your motivation, preventing unnecessary criticism or premature opposition. Realize that timing matters deeply when you're chosen. Spiritual opportunities come wrapped in divine timing, requiring precise execution, careful discretion, patient silence. Premature announcements disrupt this timing, causing confusion, delays, even complete derailment. When you prematurely announce your next move, spiritual opposition immediately targets your intentions, quietly working behind the scenes, subtly introducing obstacles, delays, confusion, frustration. Your future isn't just personal ambition, it's spiritual assignment. Assignments demand protection, silence, strategic timing. Silence prevents spiritual sabotage, quietly strengthening your position, secretly empowering your progress, silently ensuring your success becomes inevitable rather than uncertain. Silence builds momentum internally, quietly solidifying your resolve, privately empowering your spirit, strengthening your clarity. Your vision quietly matures in silence, away from distractions, confusion, doubts. By the time your plans become public, they've quietly gained strength, momentum, clarity. Too powerful, too undeniable, too unstoppable for interference, sabotage, or criticism to derail. Allow people to underestimate your progress. Let them assume silence means inactivity. Quietness indicates confusion. Meanwhile, quietly strengthen your position, privately solidify your plans, secretly execute your strategies without unnecessary interference, distractions, criticism. True power thrives in quiet strategy, silent momentum, patient discretion. Let your success become evident through results rather than announcements, achievements rather than explanations, victories rather than promises. Silence empowers your next step, quietly protecting your spiritual momentum, strategically ensuring your destiny unfolds exactly as intended, powerfully, undeniably, inevitably. Just as guarding your next move is crucial, understanding the importance of timing, knowing precisely when to reveal your dreams, plans, victories, is equally essential when you're chosen. The urge to prematurely showcase your progress publicly, to immediately announce your successes openly, remains powerful, especially when you've quietly sacrificed, privately struggled, patiently waited behind the scenes. After prolonged seasons of silence, hidden battles, quiet. Growth. The desire for public recognition becomes strong, tempting you to prematurely reveal victories before fully matured, fully solidified, fully unshakable. Yet, real power understands divine timing, carefully discerning exactly when public exposure benefits rather than weakens your progress. Premature revelation often weakens victories, causing unnecessary resistance, subtle sabotage, quiet interference. However, victories announced precisely when spiritually aligned become powerful testimonies, undeniable confirmations, profound inspirations. Patience is crucial. Silence remains essential. Chosen individuals privately cultivate quiet patience, silently refining discernment, strategically timing public revelations. During prolonged seasons of quiet preparation, internal strength quietly intensifies, spiritual clarity silently deepens, emotional resilience privately solidifies. The longer your silence continues, the stronger your victories quietly become, privately empowered, secretly protected. Divine timing demands patient silence, careful discernment, strategic patience. Realize clearly, your quiet season isn't punishment. It's preparation, empowering your spirit, refining your character, clarifying your vision, solidifying your strength. Premature exposure disrupts divine preparation, weakening victories, derailing momentum. Allow your silence to privately strengthen victories, quietly empower your spirit, secretly solidify your progress. Only when fully matured, spiritually, emotionally, strategically, only when divinely instructed, should your silence become revelation. When the chosen reveal victories precisely at divinely orchestrated moments, these victories powerfully transform lives, deeply inspire others, profoundly impact destinies. Victories publicly announced prematurely inspire envy, create opposition, weaken spiritual authority. But victories quietly cultivated, patiently protected, carefully nurtured, when revealed at divinely orchestrated moments, powerfully uplift spirits, undeniably confirm destinies, profoundly strengthen communities. Quiet victories, privately strengthened, silently empowered, secretly solidified, ultimately become undeniable testimonies, profound confirmations of spiritual power, resilience, purpose. Silence privately transforms you into someone undeniably powerful, deeply spiritual, profoundly inspiring. Allow quiet victories to privately mature, silently intensify, secretly empower your spirit. Understand clearly, chosen destinies require patient silence, strategic timing, careful discernment. Your silence quietly empowers your spirit, secretly strengthens your victories, privately intensifies your spiritual authority. Silence becomes spiritual armor. Quiet patience becomes strategic protection. Carefully discern exactly when silence becomes revelation, when private victories become public testimonies. Allow your patience to privately empower victories, quietly solidify successes, secretly intensify spiritual authority. Timing precisely transforms silence into undeniable revelation, privately cultivated victories into powerful testimonies, secretly nurtured strength into profound inspiration. Silence privately prepares you for divine timing. Patience quietly empowers your spirit. Careful discernment strategically protects victories. Realize clearly, your silence privately empowers your destiny, secretly solidifies your victories, quietly transforms your spirit. Strategic silence inevitably leads to undeniable revelation, powerfully confirming your divine purpose, profoundly inspiring lives around you. Silence privately cultivates undeniable strength, quietly empowering your destiny, secretly solidifying your purpose, until divine timing strategically transforms silence into powerful, undeniable revelation.